The impression that Giyu Tomioka left upon the audiences during his introduction very early on in Demon Slayer made him an immediate source of mystery, intrigue, and fascination for fans. Everyone wanted to learn more about this ferocious, yet calm and composed Water Hashira, who, despite his duty as Demon Slayer and his overall cold demeanor, prevented himself from killing the Demon Nezuko just because of her brother Tanjiro's appeals. That merciful and subconscious compassion made Giyu an immediate fan favorite for Demon Slayer fans, including yours truly. But hey, what exactly is the deal with Giyu Tomioka beyond his really cool long black hair, sharp crystal blue eyes, half-half kimono with multiple designs, and elegant swordsmanship? Firstly, like many other characters in the series, Giyu was orphaned as a result of a demon attack on his family. Tragically, this event takes place one day before his sister Tsukado's wedding. In a desperate and valiant attempt to protect her brother's life, Tsukado sacrifices herself to a demon right in front of Giyu's eyes. Overwhelmed by grief, Giyu is also ostracized from his village on account of being mentally ill when he informs them of the attack of demons. Alone, aggrieved, and bursting with hatred towards the world, he runs away from a psychiatrist put in charge of him by his relatives and finds himself at the doorstep of Sakonji Orokodaki, who later becomes his mentor and trains him in the arts of swordsmanship and water breathing. He also befriends one of Orokodaki's finest students, Sabito. During their final selection for a position at the Demon Slayer Corps, Sabito single-handedly defeated pretty much every demon in the arena. Just when Giyu's life seems to be turning a new leaf and opportunities seem endless, a hand demon appears before Sabito and Giyu. This demon bears a historical grudge against Sakonji Orokodaki and his students. Yet again, Giyu is left watching as his best friend sacrifices himself to protect him. This event renders Giyu completely emotionless and cold, withdrawn from the world beyond his duties as a demon slayer. As he climbs up the ranks through his sheer relentless massacre of demons and heroic talent, Giyu becomes one of the pillar, or Hashira, of the Demon Slayer Corps, the strongest and most honored position of authority in the entire organization. And well, those are the series of tragedies that have created the Giyu we know and love. The character we are presented with is one that is unique, ruthless towards his enemies, compassionate towards his allies, and humanity in general. The perfect soldier for an organization such as the Demon Slayer Corps. There are some very interesting facts about Giyu that reflect those characteristics and make him such a lovable character. 1. For instance, did you know that Giyu's complex kimono design is a constant memory of Tsukado and Sabito? Fans have always wondered why his haori, which is supposed to contain a solid color and shape stretching through the entire cloth, has multiple designs. Well, it is a remembrance of the two people he has loved the most. Tsukado used to wear a dark red kimono, while Sabito donned a green kimono with hexagonal shapes colored with yellow and dark green. Giyu's kimono is designed such that both these designs are contained on both sides of his kimono, serving as a constant reminder to him of the people that he has loved the most. 2. Next up, we know that Giyu is perhaps the most skilled Water Hashira to ever exist. But do you know where his skills originate from? Orokodaki, of course. The red Tengu mask-wearing former Hashira tutored the young Giyu when he had absolutely no place called home. He trained him in the expert art of water breathing, which Giyu took an immediate affinity towards. Later on, this same Orokodaki tutored both Tanjiro and Nezuko. Similar to Orokodaki, Giyu is one of the few Hashira who is very insecure about his position and prefers his own company, which is something you wouldn't really associate with the present-day Orokodaki. This just allows one to conjecture whether perhaps there is a slight chance that Giyu will allow himself to open up to being expressive about his emotions as he ages. 3. Speaking of Hashira, did you know that Giyu is regarded as one of the most ferocious Hashira ever, and is ranked as second only to gyomei in terms of strength? Even though he was the first pillar to be introduced in the series, Giyu's strength can never be scoffed at. According to one of Kizuki Moon Demon's Akaza, he is simply the greatest Water Hashira to ever exist, at least in the last 50 to 100 years. In terms of most official and unofficial rankings, he is regarded as one of the 5 most powerful Hashiras, second only to gyomei, and capable of holding his own against some of the strongest demons in existence, including the upper-rank Kizukis like Kokushibo and Akaza. What makes his strength even more formidable are his exceptional defensive capabilities. Out of all the Hashira, Giyu has one of the best profiles when it comes to deflecting attacks and withstanding damage. This is perfectly in line with his water-breathing techniques, which give him a fluidity in his mobility that is very well suited towards his defensive forms. 4. Additionally, because of his tragic past and seeming indifference with regards to his allies, he is regarded and teased for being a loner. How terrible, isn't it? A character so beloved by fans having to face the constant teasing of other, more sociable Hashira like Shinobu for having no friends and being very difficult to be around. Even though the Water Hashira is totally indifferent to his lack of friends in the corps, he often gets annoyed by Shinobu's chatter. Like when Shinobu first came to slay Nezuko, Giyu was quick to intervene, and this gave Shinobu a chance to comment that this is exactly why no one likes him. I mean, that clearly was a violation. Still, he is well respected among his peers, and he has shared some particularly emotional moments with Tanjiro, who appreciates him for being the person that allowed his sister to live despite being a demon. 5. On a much lighter note, did you know what Giyu's favorite food is? There are very few things that can make Giyu smile, or at the very least, make him express some sort of satisfaction. One of these things is his favorite food, Saiki Daikon, shimmering salmon with radishes. There is a very touching scene in the anime where the Hashira, Shinobu, sees Giyu radiate with a shining smile on his face when he is presented with this delicious treat for dinner. It made Shinobu smile as well, thinking that there are still some things in life that are beautiful enough even for Giyu to appreciate. 6. Following this up, what is up with Water Hashira and having an inferiority complex regarding their position as Hashira? We've talked about how terrifyingly powerful Giyu is and his immense grasp over the water-breathing style. Isn't it shocking then to find out that Giyu is actually one of the most insecure Hashira in the Demon Slayer Corps and considers himself completely incapable of the title? This is primarily because of his affection for Sabito, whom he considers as being much stronger than him on multiple fronts. The fact that Sabito could not get into the corps because of his death saving Giyu during the final selection has always stuck with Giyu throughout his time in the organization. It has motivated him to train week in, week out, to make himself believe that he is worthy of the titles that he keeps earning because of his own effort and strength. Even as a well-accomplished and respected Hashira, Giyu remains someone in doubt of his own skill, constantly attributing his success to the sacrifices of his friends. 7. Continuing with rambles on his brilliant abilities, the mere fact that Giyu invented an 11th form after it had already been established that there were only 10 forms is truly mesmerizing. So, it was historically established that there are only 10 forms which a human being can master, and the mystery of all such forms essentially makes one of the strongest human beings to ever exist, and is also a feat mostly associated with the powerful Hashira. Our guy Giyu here wasn't satisfied with just 10, so he went ahead and created an 11th form. This is known as the Dead form, which Giyu came up with in order to kill a demon named Rui. This form renders a user to cease their movements and concentrate all their energy into deflecting incoming enemy attacks. It makes Giyu one of the strongest defensive characters in the entire series, since he can essentially glide himself away from some really quick and otherwise unstoppable attacks. 8. Despite his hate for demons, Giyu's sense of justice is even stronger, and it shows in some of the most pivotal moments of the show. We find out very early on in the show that, even though Giyu gives off the aura of an assassin whose only purpose in life is to eradicate demons, he has a very strong and consistent moral compass. He is willing to break even the Demon Slayer Corps' code of conduct in order to stand by what he believes is right. This is evident in how, even though Nezuko has been turned into a demon, he refuses to kill her after discovering that she has enough sentience to not feed on humans. When Giyu realizes that Nezuko's bond with her brother prevents her from fully succumbing to mind-destroying demonichood, he accepts Tanjiro's pleas not to finish her off, and even steps up when the Demon Slayer Corps refuses to let Nezuko live. Giyu makes it his responsibility to shoulder the burden of whatever tragedies may ensue out of letting Nezuko not only live, but also fight alongside her brother in the Demon Slayer Corps. As becomes evident throughout the course of the show, his decision is vindicated. Well, that's all for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell to be notified of any latest uploads. That said, see you in the next one.